Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video, and today we are going to go over your PS Plus Extra and Premium games for the month of March 2024. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is go over those games for you for the month of March 2024 for PS Plus Extra and Premium games. Now, just if you noticed, I do have a different shirt on as opposed to the thumbnail. Just felt like changing, just want to kind of push that out of the way real quick. But anyways, let's get to it. The first game being NBA 2K24. Now that game is a big for the basketball fans out there, obviously, and look forward to this every year. More than likely, you probably already bought this. The diehards usually buy this unless for some reason something kept you back from doing so. And then, of course, well, here you are. So that's a big one. Of course, they improve things year after year, tweak things, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. I'm not 100% sure on the NBA side of things. But as far as 2K, I would honestly like to see some other stuff being offered. Maybe this is doing better as far as that's concerned, being added to a catalog like this, but it would be cool to see some of the other 2K games added in there sports-wise, like WWE or something like that, the latest one, or even the year before one and stuff, which they do add from time to time. And I guess this is right around the time frame, we got March Madness and all that stuff going on, so basketball, NBA, and college basketball being really hyped up and everything like that. So it makes sense, right? So for the sports fans out there, especially the basketball fans, here you go. I think a good addition for those out there that are enjoying that type of game and genre, of course. So I think that's good. And as we continue on, I do want to mention, this is a big one here. Midnight Suns does get added. And when I say big, I mean, I'm glad it's getting attention in some way, shape, or form. This was my game of the year for the year that it did release, and it went under the radar because it's not your traditional Marvel or superhero type of game. It's coming from the, game devs from XCOM and stuff like that, so this is a tactical game. The story is actually really well done, and the combat itself is just really the chef's kiss to gaming when it comes to tactical gameplay. Even if this type of gameplay turns you away or is not your cup of tea or whatever the case is, however you want to phrase that, please check this game out. Whether you're sub to, the services catalog, or whether you buy this or try the trial, the demo, whatever, borrow it from a buddy, but I would prefer you support this game. I don't think a sequel will be greenlit. It's too far, too gone, but they still deserve that fund and, support. And the game is on sale quite frequently for $19.99. I would gladly pay $70 plus every time if I got another game like this, especially if you're a Marvel fan on top of it. It is just so well done. Every aspect, the Easter eggs, the stories, the gameplay, the extra side missions, you name it. This game is so great. Again, if this isn't your cup of tea or you don't think it is, I implore you to just check it out. So this is my main highlight of this catalog. I think that's great, but let's continue on, shall we? Another great game being added. Now, this is the weakest of the remakes so far, but we're talking about Resident Evil 3. I think this still has a lot to be offered, and it, again, goes on sale pretty cheap, pretty often, and usually bundled with Resident Evil 2 remake and 4. It's not really 4, but I'm meaning Village and stuff like that. I've seen some bundles and whatnot, especially with Resident Evil 5 and all that. So they kind of just do some bundles, or it's standalone. Again, it is on sale often, but it is added here, and if you are subbed, then definitely check it out. I think if you're a Resident Evil fan and you were just kind of on the fence about even playing this and you happen to be subbed, I think this is worth checking out for sure. Definitely not the worst thing. It's just very short and very linear from what I understand, but so was number 3, right? Most of the Resident Evils are, but it was just really short and had some oddities to it that the Resident Evil, purists would say they had some issues with, but nonetheless, I think it's still a really good game and worth checking out. And then let's move on over to Lego DC Supervillains. Now, this is another Lego game, yes, and to me, honestly, the Lego games are either a hit or a miss. I don't think there's really in the middle. And depending on the type of, what the theme is or what it's centered around the Lego game. It just depends on if that's going to be more up your alley to sit there and play this, I say kid-like game, but that's not to be derogatory. I think it's just because it's just very basic. You can kind of turn your brain off, especially when you play these the once over through. There's a few puzzles, but then if you ever want to go get trophies or something like that, or clean it up for the platinum, of course, that's when the real fun begins, because that's when you start unlocking the multipliers and the extra, side pieces. You can get almost like cheat codes that up the abilities and so on and so forth. And that's when it really shines, in my opinion, when you get to go and replay those. But it does take a fair amount of time to get through these games. I have platinum a few Lego games, and I think they're worthwhile, especially if you're a fan of whether it be Marvel, DC, if you're, a fan of Lego City Undercover, Jurassic Park, all that stuff. I definitely implore you to check those out. It's just good fun, and you can have fun with your kid, your family, whoever, friends. So this is a good ad. This is actually one of the better ones in the Lego series and genre, if you want to call it a genre. And, definitely check that out, because I think it's a lot of fun. You get to create your character, and they actually make sense with the story with it. So definitely check this out. Again, I'm going to say definitely at least 100 more times. So let's move on to another one, and hopefully I can nix that word. But moving on, some of the ones, again, just a quick disclaimer. If I do not show a trailer for the game, that just means that I'm not personally highlighting it. The ones I do show trailers for are worth mentioning. I think those are the highlights of the catalog, so to speak. But we do have a game called Mystic Pillars that is remastered, of course, and this is available on your PS5. I believe, it has a bunch of different aspects to it. It's an Indian traditional board game, so it's a reimagination of that. So check that out if you want to. We have Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl 3 basically is what it is. If you are aware of what Blood Bowl is, it is what it is. It's fantasy football, faithfully using the latest board game rules and new content. So if you haven't checked it out, you want to, sounds up your alley, feel free to do so. Super Neptunia, I thought this was an okay game. It's an action RPG that's set in a meta world where gorgeous 2D rules supreme, leaving you to team up with 3 other goddesses to fight back in the name of 3D. So just a little something for you out there. If you're a fan of that sort of stuff, check it out. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is also being added. Now, I'm not showing a trailer for this, not because I don't think it's worth highlighting, but because I've talked about this game multiple times in past videos, and it has been, I think, available on PS Plus Essential at some point, or Plus back when it was Plus. I can't remember which one, but it is available on that as well, and we talked about that at length. So, but some of the classics here, keep an eye out if you're a big retro enthusiast. For sure, keep an eye open, because you do get the oft-forgot Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier. I did mess with this back in the day. I'm going to say back in the day. That's how old we're getting. But I thought it was okay. It was fine. And if you're a Jak and Daxter fan, great. If you're a retro fan, great. If you want to just check it out in general, definitely do so. Usually they add trophies to these. So if you're a trophy hunter, or you just want to get a few trophies, that's an option as well. And typically they make these classic ones fairly obtainable for the trophies, just an FYI. And then also they're adding cool borders, which is a classic. I mean, does it hold up that well today? Probably not, but it's still, for nostalgia purposes, go ahead and check that out. And then I have God's Eater Burst, which was, something. I did mess with that. I thought it was okay. It is what it is. They are adding Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright, the trilogy. So that is a PS4 one, so we're going to go through that. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. And then, of course, with My Hero Academia, they're announcing as of April 1st, My Hero Academia Season 1 will be available to Sony Pictures Core, to PlayStation Plus Premium and Deluxe members. So, additionally, they're pleased to share that the select series from Crunchyroll will be available to PlayStation Plus Premium Deluxe via Sony Pictures Core in the following additional regions starting March 13th, which would be like Mexico, Spain, Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Italy, France, and so on and so forth. So a lot of stuff there. I mean, it's a little bit older, but, there's something there. And if you're a big fan of My Hero, haven't checked it out, want to check it out, want to recheck it out, there you go. Those are some options there. But that being said, that is your entire catalog for March of 2024. I think there's some really good ads there, so if you do sub, fantastic. I always do, again, condone and implore you to also or just go ahead and buy those games and support those devs and support the industry if this is your main hobby or one of your top hobbies out there, which is gaming. I always implore you to do so, and that is the best way to support the industry and continue to see sequels and just better quality content. So always keep that in mind. I do like to cover this stuff. I think it's important. I think subscription services have a place, and as previous videos have mentioned, I just don't think they're day and date when it comes to first party, but sub services have a place. You just got to kind of, learn how to take that in, how to take certain bites out of it, right? So more to come on that, of course, as well, but I will end the video here. Please let me know what you think of this month's offering down in the comments below. Go ahead and leave a like as well if you would. That does help out the algorithm so much, and I appreciate it. If you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. At this time of recording, we are at 1,446, I believe, subs out of that 1,500 goal, so we are super close. And gosh, I can't thank you all enough. So thank you so much. It means the world to me. If you enjoy what you see and you want to support, those are the best ways to do so. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and we will see you next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.